This is her. She's a 2015 21-foot Cape Horn. This is a pretty special hull because 2015 is the last year that Cape Horn made the 21-foot boat. So this is one of the last 21s that Cape Horn had made. Very special to me. I love the brand. Y'all know I'm coming from a 2017 foot Cape Horn, and you know, Buoy Bomber, she held a very special place in my heart, and had to let her go. The couple that ended up buying her, great people. They've been sending me pictures of her over the last couple months of them on their trips, and it's really just been, you know, good to see that the boat did end up going to someone, you know, that's taking care of her and enjoying her. So that's good. I'm happy about that. And if y'all are watching, you know, congratulations again on your purchase of Buoy Bomber. I know you got a heck of a deal on a heck of a boat, so good for y'all. But here's my new rig. While we're at the back of the boat, we'll just talk about the motor real quick. It's a 2014 Yamaha 300 V6, right at 680 hours. It's a 4-stroke. We did run the motor the day I bought the boat. We took a little ride on the river. Ran great, no alarms. Started right up. Yamahas are pretty reliable in the saltwater boating industries. And you know, I'm a Mercury man. You see what's right behind me, my dad's boat. But he gave me the go-ahead on the Yamaha, so we're giving it a go. I got a nice ladder right here to get in the back of the boat. The boat does have Lenco hydraulic trim tabs and your transducer for the Lowrance HDS 10. In the back we got our drain plug and 2 drains for the splash well. Cape Horn's always been known to keep their boats very clean, streamlined, not a lot of unnecessary things, and you can definitely just tell that you know, it's very clean back here, no unnecessaries, and I like that about them. So we'll step up in the boat. Right when you step up, you step right into the splash well, and you got 2 accesses here to get into your bilge. You know, it's a completely closed off transom with the splash well. I really do like that. Stepping into the boat, I'm just gonna start at the front since, you know, we kind of talked about the outside of the back. I'm just gonna go to the front. It did come with a Minn Kota spot lock trolling motor. It currently isn't mounted. The mount on that came on it had a crack in it, so I ordered another one, so she's just sitting up here. I haven't really just been able to test it yet because I don't want to, you know, I have a fear of it falling off the boat on the ground, so we're holding tight on that. Keep in mind, I bought the boat home Monday, and it's Saturday. It's really my first day able to just spend more than an hour or so with it. So she's a little dirty, but I plan on getting her cleaned up today, and I got a cover that I ordered, and I'm gonna get that on it this afternoon. So don't judge the condition on the inside of this boat just yet. It's a little nasty. But the front, you know, the spot lock trolling motor, we've got navigation lights off each side, little guide in the middle for your anchor rope. Very clean, streamlined, nothing too crazy. You do have a little access here to get up underneath this front deck, and a previous owner mounted a 36-volt plug for the trolling motor right there. It does work. I confirmed it does work. The wiring through the boat's good. 3 really nice hatches in the front deck. If you remember on Buoy Bomber had 2, just one in the middle and then one right in front of it. When you step up into the 21 Cape Horn, it gives you 2 in the front, and you know, this is your fish box. It's just one huge compartment, or one huge box all the way across the front of the boat. I'm gonna have to catch a really big fish if it's not gonna fit in that fish box, so challenge accepted. You can see that the hatches, you know, all the latches that are on them have kind of fallen apart. I'm trying to source just the hatch handles, but if I can't do that, I'm not against replacing all 3 of these. Something a little bit newer. I can tell, you know, 10 years, and it looks like someone had been cutting on them. A lot of cuts, and you know, I'm not against taking care of this boat, getting her up to getting her up to, you know, I just want her to be nice. You know, I'm not against that, but we're working on it. The back two of the fish box, the front one, this is gonna be your anchor storage. It's a really nice compartment at the front. It's got a plug so you can drain it if water gets in there. Just, you know, good storage. And you can see across the front of the boat, got a real nice handrail that goes all the way across. One thing that really kind of disappoints me is that there's no rod holders up here, but I'm pretty sure that maybe with a little bit of digging online, I can figure something out. Maybe just mount some, you know, up here in this deck, one or two, just looking forward, you know, for those days where you got a lot of people on the boat and some people are fishing out the front. This boat is rated for 8 people, and Buoy Bomber was only rated for 5. But I'll tell you, even when I had Buoy Bomber, you know, I only really maxed out about 3 people on that boat, and even then it got kind of crowded. It's really a 1 or 2 person boat, but I can tell on this one, space is not gonna be an issue. It's got a real nice center console, T-top. It does have a Lowrance radar on it. If you lift up your center console, previous owner was smart and put a little latch on this right here off the T-top so it would hold it up. Very smart. You know, over the last 6 months, I've really looked at a lot of Cape Horns. 21-foot Cape Horns to be specific. I wasn't really interested in going as new as the 22s. I really liked, and the boat I looked at was a 2001 21, and it, under its console, was really deep. You know, when you look in this console, you can see the floor line right here, and it had something similar to like what you're seeing right here. It was open and dipped down into the bottom of the boat and back up, kind of a tub underneath. Well, at some point between 2001 and 2006, they changed that, because in 2006, or let me say, I looked at a 2006 21 Cape Horn, and when you opened up this console, it didn't have this huge storage space here. It just had the floor of the boat right across. And man, that really deterred me on that boat. There was other things wrong with it that, you know, kept me from buying it, but you know, that was something that I remember seeing on that older Cape Horn that I really did like, that this newer boat didn't. And when I went and looked at this 2015, I was very pleased to find out that at some point between 2006 and the future, they went back to this deeper hole here for a lot more storage. I mean, y'all, this, you could throw anything you wanted in here. I mean, it's just open. I know right now you see I got the batteries open. All those batteries work. That's the 3 that are going to be powering the trolling motor. Got onboard chargers. They're a little salty. I might replace them one day, but I confirmed they do work, so I'm not going to take them out until they break. But these batteries are new. Those chargers work. Everything in here is good. There's an access right there that takes the power from there to the front of the boat. It's also the way that they ran power to the nav lights was through that, so pretty cool. Something else I also really do kind of like, as you see, I'm getting down in here, the holes where the wiring goes through the boat, you can see through them to the back, and you can see over the top of your gas tanks really nice. And I'll tell you, that was a big issue with me, was with the Cape Horns I had looked at, was the fuel tanks. You know, I'd open up the bilge and smell gas, and you know, it had me on edge, and you really just couldn't get a good idea of what was under the floor, just because Cape Horn seals everything. But when I was poking around in here, I was very pleased to see that I could see back through and have a clear visual on top of the tank. And you know, at least if there's like a major leak issue or something, maybe with that perspective, you know, I'll have a better idea of what's going on. It's just something I like about the boat. I wanted, you know, if anyone watching the videos looking at a 21-foot Cape Horn, then keep that in mind. I know 2015 is the last year they made them, but so anything you find now is going to be at least 10 years old. But you know, something that I was very surprised about. But you see the wiring, it's not in horrible shape. It's pretty clean. You know, is what it is. I really don't know what this is at the moment. I haven't figured it out. It runs to this tube up here, and it's got an access or a little thing out on the outside. To be honest with y'all, I think this boat had a freshwater washdown, and they put like a little mister over there or something just to spray, maybe mist fresh water on some people if it's hot. Not sure, I haven't figured it out yet. But you might be wondering, what is this huge hole in your T-top? You guys, this boat had a tower on it when I bought it. Since then, I have taken it off because I have no interest in climbing up on top of the T-top unless maybe a sandbar day or something. But I do still have it. But this was basically, you climb up the T-top to get on top, and you know, there was a railing up there with 2 drink holders and 2 rod holders, and that was it. No controls or anything. And it's sitting right over there on the ground. I could put it back on if I wanted to, but for now, I just went ahead and took it off. Rounding the center console, here we are at the front. We got a Lowrance HDS Pro 10. It's got some cup holders, Fusion audio, the Lenco trim tabs. Funny story about this throttle. It's a Yamaha electric shift. And when we were there at the dealership looking at the boat, you know, we started on the water hose, and Buoy Bomber had a cable shift. And if you know about cable shifts, you know, you kind of got to put a little oomph in them when you shift. You know, you kind of can't play with them because you don't want to grind the gears in your lower unit. And man, I grabbed this thing right here thinking it was a cable shift. That motor, she revs, she's got some power. I'll just leave it at that. She revved up pretty high. And the salesman looked at me like, boy, you better buy this boat because you being hard on my motor. And I had to apologize to him. I didn't realize it was electric. And one thing I will tell you after our little test run with that is that electric shift Yamaha's got is butter. I'm talking about what a freaking dream as far as, you know, just bumping the boat in and out of gear at the dock. I mean, it was just so nice. Huge difference from Buoy Bomber. That's a big one on the boat. That's that I'm talking about. That is just game changer. It does have a Yamaha screen here that lights up and, you know, tells you engine hours, RPM, fuel burn, things like that. I was kind of excited to see that it had that screen instead of just a little circular, you know, digital analog type deal, but pretty cool. Got these push button switches. I tell you, they're not all labeled, and it's been a learning curve. There's still one switch there that I have no clue what it does. I don't think it does anything because everything else is working. Everything on the boat works, which is awesome. But it's just been a learning process with that, and we'll get it. But once again, when we talk about Cape Horn clean, man, it's nothing too crazy. It's laid out, you know, very nice. Hydraulic steering, pretty nice newer steering wheel. All the cushions on the boat are in okay shape. No doubt that we're gonna deal with them how they are at the moment for a little while, but we can plan on replacing the upholstery one day. Looking up, it's got 4 across the back, anchor light, and it's got your outrigger poles, or, you know, your outrigger out the side rod mounts. And I was excited about that. You know, in some of my other videos, you know, I really do like putting a rod up in that holder and bottom fishing under it, and, you know, fishing 2 rods at once. So that was good news that the boat had that. We got 5 in the leaning post right across the back. There is no storage in this leaning post. You just put a cooler under it. That is your access to the tops of your fuel tank. Looking at the back of the boat, right in the center, we got a huge live well in the middle. If you remember on Buoy Bomber had a 17-gallon live well. I think this one's 35, so huge upgrade there. We're gonna be able to keep more live bait, bigger live bait, and the live well is a circle, so we can keep those big blue runners, you know, just the hardtails, big grunts, things that, you know, have to keep swimming. It's a little bit better than a square live well, in my opinion, just have that circle. So super excited about that. On the right side, of the live well if you're facing it. We just got a little bit of storage here. There's our fuel water separator and some drains going out the side of the boat, as well as our fuel lines right there that go through to fill the tank. But a little bit of storage right here. I can see me putting some stuff in here, no doubt. On the other side is where we got our house batteries. Right here, this is powering everything in the boat, pretty much except the trolling motor. Got another charger here that charges these, the raw washdown pump, and then all of our wiring comes through here, going to the motor, to whatever stuff. But as well as our power switch. And we got 2 rod holders on each side, and then 2 out the back around the live well. Really thinking I'm gonna add some more. There's just so much good space sitting around to add them. You know, I plan on doing a lot of trolling. I've always enjoyed trolling. You also, while you're trolling, you find new spots to bottom fish. So I want to have some options for getting some rods out the back, as well as some options for some fishing out the front. But y'all, this is her. I'm so excited about it. I tell you, I looked at a lot of boats before I finally pulled the trigger on this one. Been to Destin, I've been to Tampa. I went to Panama City a couple times. I really came very close to buying a Parker 21 SE. This boat popped up right after I decided not to go forward with that. And I really did like that Parker, but you know me, I'm a Cape Horn guy. And this is her, y'all. We're gonna make some good memories on it. I'm gonna spend the rest of today cleaning it up. I'm pretty confident in the next video we're gonna be headed offshore to catch some red snapper. The season's here. I do want to apologize to all y'all for kind of going MIA over the last 6 months, but you know, the videos I posted where I wasn't really just offshore fishing, it didn't really get a lot of engagement. And I just had the feeling this is what y'all want. You want offshore fishing. And you know, I ended up selling buoy bomber, so I really just kind of put the YouTube dreams on hold for a while. And you know, but here we are. We're back. We're gonna get this boat down to Florida, and we're gonna start catching some fish, and I'm gonna take y'all with me. So consider liking and subscribing. If you want to know anything about the boat that I didn't mention in the video, please comment. I'll be more than glad to help. And y'all, I'm excited I'm back. I hope y'all are excited too. And please subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks.